Well, first up this morning, a truly remarkable story about a woman who grew up without ever hearing the sound of her parents' voices. Liysa Callsen can hear, but she was raised by two deaf parents, and now she is married to a man who is also deaf. Liysa wrote about it in a new book.
And it's called Tell 'Em, the memoir of a girl whose first language was not the spoken word. And Lisa's here now to share her story. Thanks for being with us today.
Thanks for having me.
So
I'm so
great.
excited to meet you both.
I know, we've been kind of emailing back and forth, and as soon as you emailed me, I thought, this is somebody we have to have on the show.
Thank
you. So great to finally meet you.
Thing, actually.
Thank you. Thank you. And we want to mention that we have an interpreter here this morning. She is going to be signing everything that we say, and this was something that you actually suggested, Liysa, for people who don't hear. So thank you so much to our interpreter.
And we've been so interested in your story. We're talking about you as a guest this morning. It's interesting that you've made it funny, but I'm sure growing up with two deaf parents maybe wasn't always funny as a child.
Well, they say that comics live a life of pain, you know, and so no, it wasn't. And in fact, I was a girl personally who internalized everything, and so I needed to release that somehow. And when I married someone who was deaf, that pretty much I saw the comedy, you know, I saw all these things and learned about people that is relatable. And I'm like, you know what, I'm just like you. I just had deaf parents and can sign and talk at the same time, you know, so.
This may sound like a dumb question, but how old were you when you realized that your parents couldn't talk and that other people's parents were not like that for the most part?
Very common question. I've been asked that trillions of times, just like my whole show, the book does that as well. I explain all that. I probably realized I was different when I went to kindergarten.
Okay.
Because people would ask me, when I started school, people would say, why are you speaking with your hands? What's going on? And then when they asked me those questions, I was like, oh, is something wrong? I didn't realize that this was normal for me. I was signing, talking, making phone calls, and 5-year-olds and teachers and parents and doctors and lawyers were asking me all these different questions.
And those were some of the things that you had to do as a child, right? What were some of the special tasks that we don't know that you had to do?
And I'd come home from school and I have to take some phone calls and make some phone calls. Hey, what time are you open? Maybe I translate a few different doctor's appointments. I make them so funny that in the show I talk about a time when I had to translate a mechanic call because my father said to me, the car's making noise. So I'm like, oh, okay. So
how did he know it was making noise?
right? That was my goal, to make the guy laugh. Actually, he could feel the vibration. And so he knew by the tuning of the car that something was off. You know, and he'd always tell me to turn on the radio because it was blaring and his feet, the vibration it was horrible for him. So I would turn it down by lightly turning my hand, but not the knob. You know, and he's like, are you sure you turned that down? Oh yeah, it's hard, it's off.
Liysa, you're a speaker, a comic, a performer. You've even written a book, and you wrote this book in 4 months.
I did.
Unbelievable.
I have to thank my friend Catherine Gall. She saw my one-woman show in 2011, and she's saw an email that said the Wisconsin Book Festival is asking for books and you need to put yours down. And I'm like, I don't have a book. And she's like, it's okay, I'll help you, and it's fine. And we sent it off. And the Wisconsin Book Festival actually asked me to be a part of it last fall. And she says, okay, give me your script. I'm like, what script? I don't have a script. And I think she had a heart attack because we had to write it in 4 months. Write it, edit. She was very kind to me. She gave me a writing space in her home, and we just whipped it out.
Was it lonely? Do you have siblings?
I have a brother. He's 2 years younger.
And he can hear also?
He hears as well.
Was it lonely, though, to have parents who could obviously communicate and probably very effectively, but you wouldn't hear their voice? Did you kind of feel like kind of trapped in your own world?
So I could hear their voice. They do use their voice for speaking. You know, it varies on their education and people. But we had a deaf community. We had this huge deaf community that if we went out all day to the baseball games, and we were out all night because they were talking to their friends, and that's how they got together, these big, huge outings. Thousands of people, really. And then, so there was 2 worlds happening. I had the deaf life, you know, which is signing and awesomeness, and then my hearing life, which was my friends and things that I found interest in. So it wasn't isolating as a kid for me, but it became about, it tried to define me, you know. It was like, who are you? Are you deaf or are you hearing? I couldn't go for, if I wanted to play softball on the deaf team, I'm not deaf. I couldn't technically play. And so that's what this story is about. It's really relatable. It talks about, even though our own backgrounds, as long as we embrace our backgrounds, we become who we are. And that's what the book has done. That's been the #1 thing that people have told me. They don't know anybody deaf. They don't have deafness in their family, but they relate to this book.
You also have a solo show. Is it the same message that you talk about in your show when you're on stage?
Well, people want to be entertained and they want to laugh. So I don't know if they'll get it when they're leaving, but there's definitely part of that there. It talks about different things. The biggest joke is really, when I was growing up, we'd go out to eat quite a bit. And the hostess would obviously see that something was different. And she'd realize that they were deaf. So they'd seat us, they'd put down the menus. They were in Braille. My parents are deaf, not blind. And so what that does is that it's a joke that I tell, because you're like, oh, well, I would give you Braille menus. Oh, wait, that's right, they're deaf. And so it educates people that way.
And just real quickly, because we're running out of time, you ended up marrying someone who was deaf.
Yes.
So you as a kid, did you dream of marrying someone who was hearing?
No, I mean, I didn't think there were I didn't think there were my age deaf people. I just wasn't around kids that were deaf. And when I met him, I was like, oh my gosh, he's cute, he's hot, and he signs. And so marrying him is just him, Carl, you know, and he happens to be deaf, and he knows me better than anyone. And you talk about communication this morning, and you know, I have to yell at him because I want him to see how angry I am with the veins popping out of my neck, you know? So
well, you don't have to do that if you do a Sunday family meeting.
Yeah,
we're gonna do a
that'll
meeting.
take care of that. It was so great to meet you. I'm
for
so
having
sorry
me
we
here.
ran out of time. It was amazing to have an interpreter here. Thank you so much for bringing her, and we should give her a shout out. Her name is Catherine, right?
No, Catherine couldn't make it, but
Okay.
Tiffany's here.
Tiffany is our interpreter this morning. Thank
Yes.
you so much, Tiffany. It was fantastic to have her. And nice to have you too. I'm going to remind people of the name of your book and where people can find it, because you have a website. It's Liysa, but it's with a Y. I keep teasing her about that. It's Liysa, and then Callsen.com. And the book again is Tell 'Em, the memoir of a girl whose first language was not the spoken word. Nice to meet you. Thanks.
Thank you very much.